welcome to the deep dive. Today we're uncorking a really fascinating journey. How someone like you, a passionate wine enthusiast, can actually become a respected, certified wine judge.
Yeah, it's quite a path.
It really is. And it's
Mhm.
so much more than just enjoying a good glass, isn't it? It's about blending, that analytical thinking with real sensory skill.
Exactly.
And maybe for a lot of people, it seems like this distant, exclusive thing, but our sources say it's entirely within reach if you've got the
What's the
dedication.
key? Dedication.
So this deep dive, it's really designed to shift how you appreciate wine, moving from just enjoying it to, well, a deeper, more articulated understanding.
And that's our mission here, really, to map out that structured path. What are the key credentials? What practical skills do you actually need?
Right.
Because it's not just about tasting better wine, it's about understanding it. It's science, it's culture, it's roots.
Hmm.
So by the end of this, hopefully you'll have a clear roadmap, turning that passion into, real professional expertise.
Okay, let's unpack that. For someone who already loves wine, why this specific path? What's the big draw to becoming a judge?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? It goes way beyond just enjoyment. It's about developing this analytical grasp of wine quality.
Analytical grasp.
Yeah, learning to figure out what makes a wine objectively good, not just what you personally like.
Okay.
And that lets you actually help shape industry standards using these objective evaluation techniques. You dive deep into regions, styles, varietals, even how the wine's made.
So it really transforms your experience.
Completely. You end up with a trained, calibrated palate. And the words, the vocabulary, to actually describe those subtle differences.
Right.
Plus, you get recognized credentials that prove your knowledge, and that opens doors, judging competitions, meeting winemakers, maybe even travel.
That deeper connection, the analytical side, that sounds really compelling. So, okay, someone's interested. Where do they start? Is picking a program the first big hurdle? It sounds kind of overwhelming.
It definitely can feel that way. But the trick is finding the pathway that fits your goals.
Mhm.
There are these different certification routes, right? Different focus, different requirements.
Like what?
Okay, so you've got the American Wine Society, the AWS. Their track is very, very competition focused.
Ah,
They really drill down on structured scoring, blind tasting. It basically qualifies you for their AWS competitions across the country. Super direct for judging.
okay, so AWS is a straight shot if competitions are your main goal. What about other angles?
Absolutely. Then there's the Court of Master Sommeliers, CMS. Now, they come from more of a hospitality angle.
Right, for restaurants mainly.
Traditionally, yes. But getting their advanced sommelier certification, that seriously hones the kind of precise tasting skills you need for judging. And CMS credentials, highly respected worldwide, opens doors to big international competitions.
Yeah,
It's tough, though.
I bet. And what if you want that really deep academic knowledge base?
Then you'd look at WSET, the Wine and Spirit Education Trust. They're known for being academically rigorous.
Mm.
They cover everything: viticulture, winemaking, global regions, the works. Their diploma, level 4, gives you this incredibly comprehensive knowledge. And their tasting method, the SAT, is pretty much an industry standard.
SAT.
Systematic approach to tasting. We'll get into that.
Okay. Any others?
Yeah. There's also the Society of Wine Educators, SWE. They aim for a balance between theory and tasting. They have the CSW, Certified Specialist of Wine, and the CWJ, Certified Wine Judge programs. Both are respected steps towards becoming a judge. So, different flavors, really.
Okay, those pathways make sense. But the core of it all seems to be honing your senses, right? How do you actually do that? How do you get that consistent, calibrated palate beyond just liking wine?
Yeah, that's where the real work and the fun actually happens. The foundation is that systematic approach to tasting, the SAT I mentioned.
Right.
What's really cool about the SAT isn't just that it's structured, it's how it forces you past, I like this, to, okay, why is this wine showing these characteristics?
That's a common language.
Exactly. It's the closest thing we have. It lets judges from totally different backgrounds kind of find common ground, turns subjective preference into something more objective.
So how does it break down?
Well, you start with appearance, clarity, color intensity, the actual hue. Then the nose, how intense is it? Is it still developing? What specific smells are there? Then the palate, sweetness, acidity, tannin, body, flavor intensity, how long the finish lasts. And finally, you pull it all together for a quality assessment. Balance, length, complexity, typicity. Does it taste like it should for its type?
Wow. Okay, so it's like Dissecting it, a forensic analysis almost, not just reacting to it. It's a big mental shift.
It is, absolutely. And the key practice, regular blind tasting, over and over. That builds your sensory memory, calibrates you.
Blind tasting. Sounds tough.
It can be. Joining tasting groups is super helpful. They often run things like mini competitions. You get structured practice, feedback.
Makes sense.
And you have to learn to spot common wine flaws quickly. Things like oxidation, that bruised apple smell, reduction, maybe burnt rubber, rotten eggs, Brettanomyces kind of barnyardy or like Band-Aids.
How lovely.
Volatile acidity, nail polish remover. And TCA, cork taint, that damp cardboard, musty smell.
Right. Cork taint. I've heard of that.
Yeah. You can even get these wine fault kits to practice smelling them. It's quite an experience.
I can imagine. Learning the good and the bad notes. And then you have to put all that down on paper, right? On a score sheet?
Precisely. You'll use standardized sheets like the 20-point UC Davis scale or the common 100-point system. The goal is reliable repeatability, meaning if you tasted that same wine blind tomorrow, your score and your notes should be pretty darn similar. Consistency is key.
Gotcha.
And versatility. You need to calibrate across totally different styles. A delicate Pinot Noir versus a big, bold Zinfandel or a sweet dessert wine. You got to know the benchmarks for each.
Okay, so you've done the hard yards, you've honed the palate through all this practice. How do you make that leap from skilled taster to actual professional judge? Sounds like you need more formal training then.
You definitely do. That formal training gives you the technical stuff, the protocols that you just don't get from casual tasting.
Oh.
A great example is the American Wine Society's Wine Judge Certification Program, the WJCP.
Okay.
It's a 3-year program, intensive workshops, mentorship, actual evaluated practice judging. They cover sensory science, basic wine chemistry, competition rules, calibration. It really shapes you for the judging panel.
Wow, 3 years. That sounds incredibly thorough.
Yeah.
Really builds confidence, I imagine.
It absolutely does. Then you have things like university extension programs. UC Davis is famous for its wine evaluation courses.
Taught by judges.
Often taught by very experienced judges, yeah. They give you that crucial scientific underpinning, sometimes even lab work.
Interesting.
You also find specialized workshops. SWE does judge training sessions. Women for Wine Sense runs sensory training. But honestly, finding a mentor, someone already judging, that's invaluable.
Why is that?
They know the ropes, the unwritten rules of the circuit. They can give you honest, constructive feedback that just speeds up your learning curve massively.
That makes sense. Real-world insight.
Totally. And don't knock volunteering. Working as an assistant at a competition, you see everything firsthand, pour sizes, how they cleanse palates, panel dynamics. It's invaluable real-world experience before you're even judging yourself.
So it's this mix then.
Yeah.
Formal classes, workshops, mentorship, and just getting your hands dirty, volunteering.
Yeah.
And all that leads up to the exam, the big test. Sounds like it needs serious mental focus.
It really does. It's the culmination, right? You can expect blind tasting exercises, usually like 8 to 12 wines.
Wow.
Yeah. Assessing style, varietal, region, quality. Filling out detailed sheets. The examiners. They're looking for consistency in your scores, how precisely you nail flaws or quality markers. Can you perform reliably under pressure?
So it's not just are you right, but are you consistently right, and can you explain why?
Exactly that. Then there are written exams. Wine theory, regions, competition rules, some chemistry, typicity, scoring systems, faults, the whole shebang. And for the higher levels, you might do practical simulations, like mock competitions. Testing how you work under the clock, collaborate, articulate your points clearly, maybe even argue for a specific medal award on a mock panel. It's comprehensive.
That is a lot to handle under pressure.
Yeah.
How do people usually prep for something that intense?
Study groups are huge. Good materials, obviously. Lots of mock judging sessions.
Right.
And practicing with those wine fault kits we talked about. Absolutely essential.
Right.
And, it's tough. Pass rates are often somewhere between 30% and 60%.
That's rigorous.
It is. So don't get discouraged if it takes a couple of tries. Honestly, each attempt gives you really valuable feedback on where to improve. It's definitely a journey.
Okay, so let's say you've passed.
Right.
You're certified. What happens next? Because certification alone probably isn't enough, right? You need actual experience.
That's exactly right. Certification gets your foot in the door, but competitions want judges with experience. So the best way in? Start with smaller regional competitions.
Get some practice runs in.
Exactly. They offer that valuable hands-on judging practice before you aim for the bigger stages. It's kind of like an apprenticeship.
Like local county fairs, maybe.
Perfect example. County fair wine competitions are often excellent entry points, and they frequently pair new judges with experienced mentors right there on the panel. Great for feedback.
That's smart.
Consumer competitions, like the big San Francisco Chronicle one, sometimes have associate judge spots. Kind of a stepping stone. You taste alongside the main judges, see how they work.
I see.
And definitely check out regional wine associations. They're often really welcoming to new judges, especially if you know the local grapes well. That local knowledge can be a big plus.
Makes sense. Play to your strengths initially.
Yeah.
And I guess keeping track of all this is important.
Oh, absolutely critical. Keep detailed records of every competition. Wines you tasted, how the panel worked, your own notes and observations. It helps you track your progress, see where you're strong, where you need work.
And professionalism counts, I assume.
Hugely. Professional conduct, being prepared, keeping things confidential, being courteous and collaborative. That's how you get invited back. Reputation matters a lot in this world.
Okay, so you've put in the time, judged regionally, built a reputation. What comes next for the experienced judge? Sounds like maybe even bigger opportunities open up then.
They really do. After judging consistently for several years, showing real expertise, you might get asked to be a panel leader at major competitions. That's a big step up, guiding the discussion, helping the panel reach consensus.
More responsibility.
Definitely. And then there's judging at the big international competitions, Decanter World Wine Awards, International Wine Challenge, Concours Mondial de Bruxelles. That's really the top tier, huge prestige, needs extensive competition experience and a truly global perspective.
What's the main difference judging internationally versus nationally, besides just the travel?
Well, it's the sheer scope of wines. Styles, regions you might never see otherwise. You need an incredibly broad calibration, understanding typicity across the entire world, not just one country.
Yeah.
It demands a very deep knowledge.
Wow. Some judges also choose to specialize. Maybe just sparkling wines or fortifieds, or focus deeply on one region or grape variety. That specialization can make you highly sought after, like a niche expert. Exactly. And lots of experienced judges move into writing and education, articles, books, teaching, establishing themselves as a thought leader, sharing the knowledge. Right. And finally, some even get involved in organizing competitions themselves, using their judging background to help design credible, fair evaluation systems. That all sounds amazing, really rewarding, but let's be honest, there must be challenges, right? Practical hurdles, and I imagine it costs a fair bit too.
Oh, absolutely. Let's get real about that. Practically, palate fatigue is probably number one.
Yeah, tasting dozens of wines.
Sometimes 60, 80, even over 100 wines in a day. Your senses just get tired. So experienced judges have strategies. Careful spitting, lots of water, neutral crackers, taking short breaks. It's strategic palate management.
You have to pace yourself.
You do. Then there are panel disagreements. They happen. The skill is articulating your assessment clearly, based on specific attributes, but also being open to what others perceive. It's about objective analysis, not just, I think this.
Tricky bounds.
It is. And maintaining objectivity. Constantly fighting your own biases, calibrating to the standards for that specific category of wine, not just your personal preference. That's an ongoing effort. Plus the physical demands. These are long days of intense focus. You need good rest, minimal perfume or scents, comfy clothes, eat light, keep your senses as sharp as possible.
So it's physically draining too, not just mentally.
Definitely. And ethics are huge too.
Yeah.
Navigating potential conflicts of interest, bias, maintaining confidentiality. You have to keep strict boundaries.
Right. Okay, so what about the investment? Time and money.
It's significant. Let's break it down roughly. Foundation training, maybe 6-12 months, could be $200, $500 for tasting groups, wine costs. Formal education, like WSET levels, maybe 3-6 months per level, $500, $1,500 per level. Judge certification itself, like the AWS program, that takes 1-3 years, maybe $800, $2,000 total. SWJCP is around $1,200 over 3 years. But something like the WSET diploma, that's often seen as essential for serious judging. You could be looking at $7,000 to $10,000.
Wow, that diploma is a serious commitment.
It really is. And don't forget travel, workshops, competitions. That adds up fast, and often you pay your own way, especially early on.
Right.
Time-wise. Ongoing development never stops. Even after certification, most top judges spend 5-10 hours a week studying, tasting, keeping sharp.
So bottom line.
Bottom line, while pros can eventually earn some money judging, it really starts out and often remains a passion pursuit. It's not usually a primary income stream, especially at first. It takes real dedication.
What an incredible journey we've mapped out today. From just loving wine to becoming this recognized expert, it fundamentally changes your whole relationship with it, doesn't it?
It really does.
And I think what this deep dive shows is it's not some mystical art. It's actually a structured path, you know, with clear steps, clear benchmarks.
Absolutely. And the rewards, they go way beyond the certificates. It's that deeper appreciation for how complex wine is, getting to actually contribute to quality standards in the industry,
Yeah.
and joining this amazing community of people who share that same deep passion.
Hmm.
So for anyone listening, if you are ready to take that passion and turn it into real expertise, what's the very first step you're going to take on this path to becoming a certified wine judge?